If you've been trying to make money online, but for some reason it's just not working and you're feeling disappointed, I get it. For many years, I tried to build an online business, MLMs, coaching, courses, putting offers together, starting a YouTube channel. Last month, I finally made my first few $100s online, and I thought I'd do a little video to share what I wish I knew before trying to make money online. In this video, I'm going to share number one, the mistakes that I made at the very beginning, number two, the one thing that changed everything for me, and number three, the takeaways that I got from my own story and what I would do if I was to start over. Let's start with the first mistake, which I think is a mistake that most of us are doing at the very beginning of starting something new, not even an online business, but it's consuming content and not taking action. There's so much information online, YouTube, social media, everywhere, online articles, and a lot of it is available to us for free, right? And for some reason, we get some kind of hit of dopamine every single time we consume content. And at the very beginning, I found myself just listening to podcasts or watching YouTube videos, reading books, and not really applying anything that I had learned. And what happens when you do that is that you don't even start something. You're in consuming mode. You're not in creation mode. It's very easy to get in overthinking mode and to just stay stuck in your head and never take an action. So I'd say that's the number one thing to watch for. Like, are you actually taking a little bit of information and applying it, or are you just consuming content and just making things happen in your mind and creating a business in your mind? The number two mistake I made, which I made more than once, was to decide way too quickly what I wanted to do and where I wanted to put my energy in terms of like what business to build and all of that. Like, we don't realize that all the effort we put towards something is never lost because we compound the skills, right? Like, everything we learn along the way, we're able to apply them again to different projects in the future and stuff. But still, like, making the choice of which direction you're going to take is so important. It's like choosing your life partner. It's maybe less important than choosing your life partner, but like, it's still a direction that you're taking. And a lot of the time we don't spend enough time to just sit down and think, okay, what do I actually want to do? And what actually is the best thing for me to do right now, where I can succeed quickly enough and where I can feel passionate enough. So mistake number two, I'd say not spending enough time making the decision of the direction I was taking. The third mistake I made is kind of similar to the first one, but it's kind of like the opposite. It's once you start taking action, trying too many things at once, trying to be on too many platforms at once, or thinking, okay, I'm going to start this project and then this project, and then you end up feeling so overwhelmed, and so you just end up quitting, right? And I see so many people that I'm chatting with, right? I had over 30 conversations in the past week with people who are actually trying to build something online. And I can feel that this is what people are struggling with. They start too many things at once. They're on too many platforms at once. And so there's no chance of success, and you just risk overwhelming yourself. So I'm definitely saying now, I have to admit, I made that mistake way too many times. And I'm so happy now to understand that it's so important to focus and to do one thing really good, to go really deep, learn so much, and to actually smash it when you focus on just one thing instead of trying so many things. And at the end of the day, you're just going to fail in everything. And the last thing I'd like to say is, I've been a victim of that as well, is the shiny object syndrome. If you're not sure what that means, is basically that I may not explain that very well, but it's just like a shiny object. So you just tend to want to do whatever, like chasing trends, basically, right? Like never staying on your lane. And there's this thing called the dip, where whatever you start doing, whatever project you start, an online business or like creating content or whatever it is, right? There's going to be this moment where you feel so unmotivated, right? Because at the beginning, it's very easy to be, oh, I'm going to do this, and you're so inspired, you have a new plan and all of that. But after a couple of weeks or a couple of months, the dip starts happening, your motivation drops, and you just don't feel like doing it anymore, and you start doubting your own choices. You start thinking like, oh, am I just working for nothing and stuff? And in these moments, it's very easy to just look at the shiny object, thinking, oh, I started a YouTube channel, maybe I should have been on X, or, starting a Skool community or whatever, and to start something new when you were only just starting to build momentum in the first thing that you were doing. And the truth to me is that every single thing works. Every single project you want to start has the potential to work. Every idea you have can work. And it's just about like how long you're going to stay in the game with it. And so to me, everything changed the moment I realized that my biggest bottleneck was not actually external skills, but for me, it was alignment. How do I feel within about a specific project? Do I actually want to help people with this? Do I actually feel aligned with the format of the business? And I would say that inner alignment is this thing that made me pivot so many times and that prevented me from making money online for so long, because I was constantly not feeling aligned, not feeling good with the project I was working on. And so I had to choose something else and to start over again. The one takeaway from my whole 9 months of struggling to try and make money online, and even just a couple of years where I tried so many things, is that if you don't feel aligned within, then you're never going to keep going, right? Because you can work as much as you can, but like if you really feel passionate about something within, then you are going to keep going. You're going to stay in the game. And if you're just starting something because you think it's going to work and you don't feel fully aligned within, this is just not going to last very long. Which leads me to my next point, which is what would I actually tell myself if I was to start over trying to make money online? I wish I knew this before, because I've wasted so much time. And if I heard what I'm about to tell you now, trust me, I wouldn't have spent this many years struggling to make money online. So the first thing is have a look at the Ikigai, you know, the Japanese saying, like try to find the intersection basically between what you want to do, what you feel passionate about, you know, what you're excited to do. Like, what do you do in your free time? What would you get, you know, to do for the whole life if you didn't if you didn't get paid for it? These are great questions to help you figure out your inner alignment. And then the second thing is like the external world. Like, what do people struggle with like what do people find super hard when you find it easy, right? These are questions as well that you can use to, you know, to find what kind of problems you can solve in the world. Because if you manage to solve problems, this is when you're going to get paid, right? So finding the right intersection between what the world needs and what you want within. And I would really advise myself, if I could speak to the 3 years ago, the Lara from 3 years ago, is to actually emphasize what you feel within instead of what the world needs. Because, like, of course you need to solve people's problems, you're not going to solve your own problems. But if I look at the past 9 months, the reason why I pivoted so many times is not about skills. Even if you're not super credible in something you want to help people with, you can still learn along the way. You can still, you know, work for free or, you know, charge a very small amount to people and then help them get a specific results and learn along the way. But if you're deeply not aligned with what you're going to do, it's just a matter of time until you're just going to give up, right? So if I were to start over, that's the first thing I would tell myself. Try to find the center of your Ikigai. Try to find like what makes you feel excited and what can also solve people's problems. Second thing I tell myself is just to make a list of like all the business ideas I could start. We tend to get so excited thinking, oh, I'm going to do dropshipping, that pays so well. Oh, I'm going to start a coaching business, let's get to it. I said that earlier, right? But we don't spend enough time trying to think about, okay, these are the options. Like, what are the downsides for each business model? What are the upsides? What would I be better at? What would I struggle most with? And just making a list of all the business ideas can be super helpful, which leads me to my third point, which is to actually talk to people who have tried these business models, right? Especially in the online world. I'm discovering this at the moment, but like just texting people and say, oh, I'd love to know more about your story, your experience, who you are. Would you be willing to jump on a 20-minute call with me and I could share this and this and this with you? Like just networking with people and asking them like, you know, how do you feel since you've started this business? Like, what would you recommend it to? People love feeling like they're experts at things. And I think that's such an amazing thing if you can go to people and ask them about their experience, and it's going to build amazing skills within you as well to be able to communicate with people this way. I'd literally give myself a couple of weeks or a couple of months to just decide which direction I'm going to talk, having conversations with people, doing research on the business models. I believe that if you want to build a personal brand and that you want to express who you are in the world, but to connect people around a certain topic, like for example, I'm very passionate about alignment and business. So I'm starting a Skool community and trying to get people together around this topic and helping people with all my knowledge, exactly what I'm doing in this video, right? I think it's super powerful to actually, create a community if you have this vibe, if you have this desire as well to do that. And trust me, Skool is like such a great platform for that. By the way, if you want to join the Aligned Creators community, which I've created, it's just starting, it's very new, but joining the community is obviously free, and we can have a chat, talk a little bit about you, about my story, if you've been inspired by this video. So feel free to join the community by clicking the link just below. It's called Aligned Creators. And if you feel like you're an aligned creator or you'd like to be one, I think you're gonna absolutely love the community. And if you're curious to know about how I made my first few $100s online by just packaging one of my skills into an offer, feel free to click on the video just right here where I explained everything. And other than that, feel free to drop a comment to tell me where you're watching from, and I'll see you in the next video. Thank you so much.